What's up, guys? Record Store Day 2018 is about a month and a half away. This video is the only video you will need to be totally prepared with the right strategies to be successful on Record Store Day. I'm also going to give you my picks from the list and my general thoughts. So make sure you stick around, share this video with your friends, and of course, subscribe to this channel. My tips coming right up. Alright, first thing I have to talk about, if you're in LA or you have the ability to get to LA this month, I am giving away, thanks to Golden Voice, a pair of tickets to see Cornelius on March 20th. Now, Cornelius is one of my favorite artists. He's from Japan. Some call him the Japanese Beck, and he made my top 10 albums of last year if you saw my video. Now, I'm giving away 2 tickets on my Instagram, so just go to toomanyrecords_ on Instagram, check out the post. If you're in LA, you have a chance to win. Good luck. Alright guys, the Record Store Day list is out. As I said, we are about a month and a half away. Now is when you gotta start doing your prepping. You gotta figure out what your strategy is gonna be, if you're gonna go to the store or if you're gonna wait online. I have tips for both of those camps. First off, I just wanna say, the list this year is pretty damn good. I'm impressed with a lot more of the releases than I expected, and that's a really good thing. Sometimes RSD can be a little underwhelming, but this year, definitely gonna be lining up. Definitely have some things on the list I need. Now, there's not one big ticket item on this list like some of the past years where it's that thing everyone wants, like the cake box set or something like that. I can't tell from this list if there's any high profile item that diehard fans or diehard scalpers are going to get, but there are a lot of things that are limited and you will have to prepare accordingly to get them. Some things on the Record Store Day list are going to be available after Record Store Day for fairly cheap. Sometimes things just plummet. It's cheaper than the store couldn't get rid of them, there's too much stock, and sometimes things are just way overpriced in the aftermarket, so you have to get them on RSD unless you want to drop crazy money later, and I don't want to do that. So basically, you're stuck asking yourself, do you want to participate in RSD, or do you want to just hope that you get lucky online? I'm going to tell you how you can be successful both ways. First way is going to be going to the store and being a part of Record Store Day. Record Store Day is amazing because you have the opportunity to support your local record store, get some really cool exclusive releases, and be a part of the vinyl community. At least in LA, the stores that I've gone to and lined up for have been so cool, and the people in line are awesome and good conversation when you're not sleeping, and it's just a great time and super memorable if you're a vinyl fan. Now, if you value your sleep and you don't want to stay up all night, totally get that, but that's not really the spirit of Record Store Day. If you're gonna line up, you have to make a list of all the things that you want and think if there's anything on the list that might be really rare, really limited, or that your store might not be getting many copies of. To find out about the copies, definitely call your store the week of. Closer to the date, the better. Some stores will tell you, some keep it a secret, but it's always nice to know if you're gonna be lining up if your store actually has the item that you want the most. That would suck to wait 10 hours and not get it. 10 hours, yeah. I usually line up about 8 to 12 hours in advance depending on how much I want. I make a night of it. Bring some friends, bring some snacks, talk to some people, make a video. It's always a good time. Make your list, line up early, be prepared for disappointment, but also be prepared for incredible success depending on how early you line up. So best of luck to the warriors in the street who are gonna be stared at by people that are leaving the clubs at 3 in the morning, wondering what you're doing in front of a closed record store. Those people have no idea how fun it is to be a part of RSD. Now, if you want to wait, I respect that too. Oftentimes, you're going to save time and maybe even save money depending on the release. There are some ways that you can be successful with that. The Vinyl Collective forums, they will always be posting whenever stores put their extra stock online. They're super quick about it, and I definitely recommend sitting in the Record Store Day threads on the day of and the day after, refreshing whenever you have a chance, because they'll be posting some great stuff, and you want to grab it before it sells out, because those stores are not going to have a lot of copies. Then, of course, you can get lucky on Discogs or eBay. Oftentimes, if you wait a couple days after Record Store Day, you can get some of the not super limited stuff, but fairly limited stuff for about the price it was in stores, because flippers thought they could sell it for a certain price, realized they couldn't, and are trying to offload it as fast as possible. It's a viable strategy. Also worth doing, go to bullmoose.com. They have the stock for Record Store Day with pricing. Now, pricing at your store is going to vary by, I'd say 15% up or down from Bull Moose pricing, but it's a great guide to kind of gauge how much you might be spending on Record Store Day. Do it now. All right, now we're gonna talk about my picks. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me clarify even further. Let's break it down a little more. Record Store Day is split between a couple of different types of releases. The first release you're going to care about is Record Store Day exclusives. That means it's going to be sold on Record Store Day for the first and only time. When it sells out of the number that has been pressed, it is done. So those are the ones you want to prioritize. There's also Record Store Day first release. That means you get the first chance to get it on Record Store Day, and sometimes there's a slight variation like numbered or a color change or something about that. But you will have a chance to get that record down the road in some form or another, so deprioritize those in comparison to your Record Store Day exclusives. Alright, here are the exclusives that I'm interested in. Black Moth Super Rainbow and Mike Watt are doing a split 7-inch. I'm gonna grab it just because I'm a huge fan of both. Bigger fan of Black Moth Super Rainbow, but 7 inches, fairly reasonably priced this year from what I can tell, usually under $10, so I'll grab it if my store has it. Czarface and MF Doom are doing Man's Worst Enemy. It's a 7-inch and comic book combo, so I'm gonna be grabbing their collab album that comes out before that, but a comic book featuring MF Doom, I feel like I'd be foolish not to get it. Led Zeppelin, Rock and Roll and Friends 7-inch. Now, this is unreleased Zeppelin material, which is always exciting. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I know that it's going to be gone. It's an exclusive, so it's a Zeppelin item, and it's going to be gone at the end of the day. So I'm going to grab it. Hopefully it's good. If not, I'm sure I have a friend that loves Zeppelin that would like it. Jeff Buckley, the late, great Jeff Buckley, is one of the most talented singers of all time. And unfortunately, he passed away way too young in an unfortunate accident. But there was an amazing concert recorded that's going to be on vinyl for the first time over 4 discs. Now, this is one of the pricier things on my list, clocking in at about $75-$80 depending on your store. But this is such a good track list of his songs, a bunch of cover songs, and some really good banter in between. So I think I'm going to regret not picking this up if I don't. I only own Grace. I don't own any of his other releases that have come out, the compilations and whatnot. So this would be a nice way to bolster my Jeff Buckley collection. Arcade Fire, the Arcade Fire EP. This came out before Funeral, has never been on vinyl. There's some pretty good stuff on there, and I love early Arcade Fire, so there's no way I'm not going to grab this. Pink Floyd, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, mono pressing. Now, I own an early pressing of it. It's stereo, and it's not the best condition. It's definitely playable, but it is not something that I would be stoked to be like, check out this quiet, beautiful record. I'm curious about the mono pressing, so it's only $20 according to Bull Moose, which makes me think that the packaging is going to be very bare bones, and the pressing quality is going to be hit or miss, but I'm probably going to grab it just to hear how it sounds. It's one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. I love the Syd Barrett era. Mac DeMarco, This Old Dog demos on yellow vinyl. This Old Dog made my top list of 2017 as well. The demos, I'm sure, are going to be just as chill, just as good. It's a Mac release. I'm going to buy it. This is the one I'm so excited for. The National doing Boxer live at Brussels. Last year, they performed Boxer in full in Brussels, and I wasn't there, and it broke my heart, because Boxer was the album that got me into the band, which is my favorite band. But they're going to be putting it out on clear vinyl with a rainbow foil cover, all the bells and whistles, nothing but the best for the National. If I don't get this one, it's going to be a dark day. Luckily, there's 4,000, so I don't think it'll be too hard. Sufjan Stevens, Mystery of Love 10-inch. Now, I have the Call Me By Your Name soundtrack, which has the 3 songs that are on this 10-inch, but it's a Sufjan release. Again, collector mentality, I have to have it. There's 10,000 going around, so this is probably going to be cheaper down the road, but I'm still going to probably bite the bullet on Record Store Day. Ben Queller's Sha Sha is finally getting a reissue. This record goes for over $150 online, and that's because it's a masterful indie pop, indie rock record that you should know if you don't, and you should buy it on Record Store Day because it's going to be an awesome pressing, I'm sure. I think it's on white vinyl. Rage Against the Machine, Democratic National Convention 2000. This is a live show by Rage that was never on vinyl and is finally getting pressed. The track list is short but sweet. A lot of their biggest hits. I'm curious to hear what it sounds like, so I'm probably going to be buying that. Linkin Park, One More Light live. Now, Linkin Park has fallen off for me. I haven't liked them since their first 2 albums, but those 2 albums were instrumental to me growing up in late middle school, early high school. So, strong nostalgia feels, and the track list for this album is actually pretty good. A lot of their earlier material, and it's the last songs that Chester played with them before he unfortunately passed away. So I'm probably going to try to grab this just for a nostalgia listen. I love Hybrid Theory and Meteora. And now for the first releases. These ones I can breathe easy about because I'll probably get them down the road if not on Record Store Day. Balmorea is doing Chime and Stone, 2 songs from their latest album sessions on a 7-inch. Gonna grab it. They Can Do No Wrong. Modern, classical, folky, beautiful music. I love Balmorea. This one blew my mind when I saw it. The Bird and the Bee, excellent female-fronted indie pop group, is doing a repress of their Daryl Hall and John Oates cover album. That's right. They're doing a bunch of excellent Hall & Oates songs. It's gonna be on magenta vinyl. It only exists as a promo copy in a black sleeve right now. I've never seen it in person, but it goes for a lot of money online, so I'm finally gonna own it. Those tracks are excellent covers. This is another one that got me super excited. Fish, Billy Breathes is finally getting its first ever vinyl pressing. About damn time. Now, I know some of you have seen some Fish posters in my other videos when I'm in my kitchen. Those are not mine. Those are my roommate's, who is obsessed with Fish. He's been to like 100 Fish shows. It's crazy. I'm a casual Fish fan, but I will say that Billy Breathes is far and away their best studio album. Some of their coolest songs, Free, Prince Caspian, all that stuff is on this album. I'm gonna grab it. It's first release, so it's gonna be available down the road, but this is gonna be a numbered version. I think I'm gonna grab it, even though it's $50. Now, that's what Fish records tend to go for, 40 to 50 bucks, because Fish fans are crazy, and they'll pay the money for it. I'm gonna be one of those fans on Record Store Day. I'm just incredibly excited it's finally getting pressed. Soundgarden, A-Sides. So, Soundgarden, one of my favorite bands, grunge band, rest in peace Chris Cornell, one of my favorite humans ever. A-Sides is a greatest hits compilation. Now, I have all their albums, so I have all these songs amongst albums, but I think it'd be cool to have the greatest hits and kind of just hit it front to back and hear all their best songs. I'm gonna probably grab those A-Sides. And Nas has a live concert coming out. He did Illmatic live at the Kennedy Center with an orchestra. Now, I have Kanye's Late Orchestration, which is a very, very rare record that sounds amazing. It's Kanye doing his first 2 albums material with a full orchestra, so Nas doing Illmatic with an orchestra, that is probably gonna be excellent too. Gotta grab it. And there's a rumor flying around that Circa Survive's Blue Sky Noise is getting a pressing on black vinyl with splatter. This has been out of print for a very long time, fetches crazy money. It's not on the Record Store Day list, but I don't know what's going on with it. If anyone knows details, please leave a comment. And now for the bad. There's not enough soundtracks! Record Store Day is for repressing awesome soundtracks, for giving soundtracks that have never been on vinyl a chance to breathe in the vinyl realm. What's going on with that, guys? Where's my Almost Famous reissue? AC/DC Back in Black cassette. What? Who's wasting time and shelf space with this? Now, don't get me wrong, AC/DC Back in Black is a terrific album. But why is it getting a cassette reissue? I feel like I've seen that cassette in every music store in the history of stores for $1 in the corner. Who's begging for a reissue of Back in Black on cassette? I'm so confused. AWOL Nation, live in Vienna, 7-inch. AWOL Nation is one of those bands I just do not understand how people like. I just don't know why this is even being pressed. Sorry, guys. Just like that, Evanescence, Lost Whispers, their B-side compilation. I don't even want to listen to Evanescence's A-sides. Why would I ever want to hear their B-sides? And The Ugly. Star Wars The Last Jedi is getting 2 songs pressed onto a Porg-shaped 10-inch picture disc. I say it's ugly because it's ridiculous, but I'm also definitely going to buy it. Mike Posner, I Was Born on a Very, 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 Very Cold Day, or whatever that album is called. It's a collection of poems by Mike Posner, the genius songwriter that wrote I Took a Pill in Ibiza. I think he's a terrible musician, personally, so I definitely don't want to hear his spoken word poetry, and I don't think it ever had deserved to be pressed onto vinyl. Gross. Finally, Sugar Ray's Fly is coming out on a seafoam green 7-inch record, the ultimate nostalgia buy of Record Store Day 2018. I mean, I love that song because I played it a lot when I was in middle school. Who am I kidding? I'm probably gonna buy it. Record Store Day ambassadors this year are Run the Jewels. I think they did an excellent pick, following up St. Vincent last year, another great pick. Run the Jewels is not putting out any new material per se, but they are doing something special for Record Store Day. They're gonna be putting out a metal box that is going to house your copies of Run the Jewels 1, 2, 3, and have space for 4, which is, I guess, coming soon. Very exciting news. In the box is also a clear 12-inch record that has a couple, I think, remixes of some songs and an etched on the B-side. So I'm going to definitely grab that box. I own 1, 2, and 3, and I will own 4. So really cool way to house those records, and it's limited for Record Store Day. It's exclusive, so I'm going to grab it. Alright guys, those are my initial thoughts. I feel like more records are going to jump out at me in the list. I'm like, oh, I need that too, especially when I'm waiting in line. 10 hours is a lot of time to reevaluate and add to your list. So in the comments, please leave what you're excited to get. I want to know. I want to know if I'm forgetting anything essential. Again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends who are record heads, and please subscribe to this channel. I put out videos all the time, and I hope you guys have an excellent Record Store Day prep. I'll make a video while I'm there, and of course, talk about my haul. So look forward to that in about a month and a half. Take care, guys.